Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing on today? I don't know about you guys, but I am a super duper excited because I get to interview Jane Porter. Okay, Jane, let me just let you know. I get excited when I sing. So if you hear me sing a little bit, it's just because I'm really excited that you're here. Guys,
All
I
right.
even shared with Jane behind the scenes that I am fangirling because we get to hang out with New York Times bestselling author Jane Porter on today, guys, for her latest release of Flirting with the Beast. And Jane, we're going to definitely talk about this amazing cover as well. Guys, you know how we do it here at the cafe. Like, tag, and share. Tell a friend to come on over to the cafe because we're hanging out with author Jane Porter on today. Jane, I will allow you at this time to introduce yourself to the people, my friend.
All right. Well, I'm Jane, and I've been a writer my whole life. I started writing when I was 5 and didn't get published
Oh,
till I was
wow.
35, but I wrote and wrote my whole life. It's the most comfortable thing I knew. And it just publishing wasn't ready for me, but I was ready for it.
I love that. I love that. Look, and speaking of that, okay, you write in some of my favorite genres. You do a little bit of women's fiction. I love women's fiction. You do romance as well. What do you enjoy about writing in those genres?
I like the diversity of storytelling, but it's always the same heart, which is how women deserve more and how women deserve to be validated and how women don't get enough love from society, sometimes from and not from each other. So I love to tell stories for women where women are truly the heroes and the women get to grow and have a happy ever, which whatever that may be, whether it's making a marriage work, whether it's dealing with grief, raising kids. But really, women to me are tremendous, and I don't like to torture them too much. I think that's interesting how so much of women's fiction right now is a lot of kind of heavy things, and I really want hopeful stories where, I don't know, women get to have fun.
Yeah. Look, we like fun. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, Jane, I was reading that I found out that you are a small town girl at heart. Tell us about that.
Well, I was raised in Central California in a farming community. One of my best friends, she was a country girl. She lived on their family farm. And so I didn't think anything of it until I went to UCLA and people were like, "Oh, where are you from?" And they're from Orange County or Newport Beach or Laguna, or they're from, Walnut Creek somewhere in the Bay Area, and I'm like, "Oh, from Visalia." And they're like, "What?" And it didn't seem to impress a lot of people, but I loved it. It was really kind of like an idyllic 1970s time. You'd ride your bike to
Oh,
the library,
nice.
you'd ride your bike everywhere. You felt very safe, and I liked that.
Yes. Nice, nice. Guys, if you are just joining us, we are hanging out with author Jane Porter on today, guys. And trust me, we're going to be getting into her latest novel, Flirting with the Beast. But before we get into that, Jane, if you think about your writing, and guys, if you don't know, Jane has over 75 books. Okay, so let's just say 75 plus books. Or what have you. When you think about your books and the genres that you write in, or what have you, if you had to describe your writing style or give yourself a writing tagline, what would that be?
Well, I love a little larger than life hero. I started writing for Harlequin
Oh,
Presents. I still write for Harlequin Presents, so I really love an alpha. In fact, I've been married to two. They're tough, but I love that big
okay.
presence. But I like a relatable heroine. I like a heroine that could be your friend, that could be you. I really love a woman that the reader could go, okay, I don't necessarily agree with everything she's thinking or feeling, but she's attainable. I can relate to her. And to me, I mean,
Yeah.
and that's why I love these stories with more mature heroines. I'm going to be 59 next week, and I still sometimes see like somebody who's kind of a gorgeous man and maybe an older man, whatever, or 50s, 60s, and he's somewhere. And I'm like, oh, he's handsome. He's good, and I still get that little flutter. And I think we women can are allowed to again feel good and realize, you know, we're attractive throughout our whole life. And I don't know,
Yeah.
I'm a kid a little bit. I love the fairy tale, I love the happy ending, and it's really important that whether you're, to me, 35 or you're 65, you get to feel good and beautiful when you're reading a novel.
Yeah, and I love the fact that you said that, because that also leads us to talk about this series as well as Flirting with Bees. What inspired you to write a little bit about older, or I like to call them seasoned characters, or what have you? Because the first book in this series is actually called Flirting with Bees. Urge you to wanted to kind of share those amazing stories as well.
Well, you know, my biggest, most popular book was written when I was 40, and it was called Flirting with 40. And it became a Lifetime movie starring Heather Locklear, and it was in Red Book magazine. It had been excerpted over 3 months one summer, and readers really loved it. They hadn't had probably a romance or a book that featured a woman their age where it was really truly a romance. It wasn't just she was a side character, and it wasn't
Yeah.
that she was relegated to, you know, she was kind of this, but she was really a true hero. And as my readers found me and they've stayed with me, they kept saying, well, Jane, what about us now? Like, we're not 40 anymore, Jane, we're 50, maybe 60. And I got so many you know, questions, and I thought, let's do it. Because although I'm happily married now, I have friends who are single, and I've wondered, you know, are they ever going to get married again? Are they going to be alone? And sometimes I worry. Some friends I think are better suited to being alone, and I have other friends I'm a little bit worried about them growing old all by themselves. And I don't mean old in age, but sometimes it's up here. You know, your mindset is so important. And I think love, when
Yeah.
you're in a supportive relationship, it can help you stay young mentally.
Yeah, yeah. I love that. I love that. Guys, if you are just joining us, we're hanging out with the one and only Jane Porter. Her latest series is actually the Modern Love series. She had Flirting with a 50. And Jane, I'm gonna get you to share a little bit about this one too. And then the latest release got Bees. Jane, when you think about this series, the Modern Love series, what inspired that series overall?
I mean, again, I think it's probably where I am in my age, where my friends are, because you know, I'm a my husband's 9 years younger. So for me, getting older first in everything is exciting. And then also I'm like, I don't want to get too old because I don't want to feel like we have this bigger age gap. He's very fun loving. He's a surfer, like in Flirting with 40. It's a little bit based on our lives, our romance. But I was starting to look at the women around me and think, who's doing really well? And I mean, emotionally, physically, spiritually, who's struggling, and why don't, you know, it's also a story of friends and how friendship can support you. But I feel more interesting now than when I was younger. I feel more attractive overall. I'm not as worried about the extra roles, and they are there. I've gained 20 pounds in the last 10 years. And part of me is like, oh, yeah, I should really care. And another part of me is like, but I'm alive and I'm healthy and I'm happy. And I think, you know, it's
Yeah.
just nice to come to a place where we can feel comfortable with ourselves and give ourselves permission to just be happy.
Yes. Yes, I love that. You see, I got excited about that. Yes, shout out for that as well. And Jane, I want to know, because there are some people that they like to read books in a series in order, all of that good stuff. So, with the Modern Love series, can the books be read as a standalone, or
Oh, yeah.
do they need
They're
to read
all
them like? Okay,
I think they're all definitely standalones. I've had a much stronger feedback on Flirting with the Beast than the first one. I think because Andy herself is more emotional. She's the heroine in Beast. And then Flirting with Fire will come out in July, but they're all part of their friendship group. You see them in each other's stories. So when you first see Andy from book 2. In book 1, she's in a supporting role, and she's still very much a widow who's feeling alone. And so, yes. And so I like connected stories, but they're always standalones. I love being able to see characters come back. And I really,
Yeah.
I really loved in book 3 how these friends are there in book 3 for the hero in there. So
Yes, yes. And hello, author Jacqueline Thomas. She is hanging out with us on today as well. Guys, of course, like, tag, and share. Tell a friend to come and hang out with us today. We are interviewing author Jane Porter. And you guys know how we do. If you have a question for her, definitely put it in the comment section and we'll be sure to include you. And so now the moment that we've been waiting for, I know they want to hear about flirting with the bees. Can you tell us, just a little bit about what this amazing story is
well,
about?
I'm a sucker for this one. And I've got to hope my husband doesn't walk in, because the beast was a little bit inspired by a guy down the street. He's a beast. He's got to be 6'5". He looks like the guy actually in the book. He has a beard. He's built. He drives this huge truck. And I keep thinking, what career would he have? Because he also has on his license plate, Jesus loves or something. So here's this mountain of a man that is gorgeous, that loves God. And I'm like, oh, so in my mind, I know nothing about him. Although someone recently said, oh, that neighbor, his name is Lear. And I'm like, ooh, that's a cool name for a future book.
Oh, yeah.
I love this idea of, we have our heroine and we have our hero, but they're not close because her former husband, her late husband, and the hero, his name's Wolf, did not get along, and they were very antagonistic. And now, Andy's been widowed for 5 years, and the book opens with her wanting to get away from home because suddenly she's alone at Christmas. So she's going to go up to their cabin at Lake Arrowhead, where Wolf is their neighbor. And Wolf has these big German shepherds. He's very scary. Well, his background is he was a veteran, a Marine who used to do MARSOC, which is the special forces for the Marine Corps. So he's a big badass veteran, and she's works as administrative in a university in their math department, and she's like a secretary in a math department. But she's lovely, but not expecting love, and certainly not expecting sex. But she gets both that Christmas. So.
Oh my goodness. Now, Jane, before we get into a little more about the book, I love a good cover. Okay, my friend, tell us about this cover. Okay. And he's smoking.
He's all right. Yeah, I have to put all of this to the Berkeley art department. I didn't know what they were going to give me. I really thought, how do you cover and create an image for women who are in their 50s? What are you going to do? And I thought it was really, Jacqueline's dad was MARSOC. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she probably knows about all this way more. I have people who are close to me who their husbands are in the Marines. But anyway, I'm so impressed by MARSOC. Anyway, so I didn't know how they were going to package this. And I love the covers because they're like, you're writing in a different place in the market. And they're not, grandma stories. Let's give it its own look. So, mass market isn't thriving in today's world right now. Mass market is a little bit of a struggle. So I don't think the sales have been exactly what we hope, but I know the readers who have found it have really enjoyed the story. So I just love the digital market because you can always find it there. And I love, that you can order it from everywhere. But it was supposed to be carried by Walmart and Barnes & Noble. And I do love that one. That's out of my 75 books, I probably have a list of 4 or 5 that I love. And that's on my top.
I love that.
Yeah.
See, guys, of course, here at the cafe, you get a little bit of tea. And so Jane just spilled a little bit of tea about her book covers. Now, Jane, think about this series. And think about Flirting with the Beast. Okay, so with this particular book 2, or like I said, you can look at the series as a whole. What came first for you? Was it these amazing characters or was it the plot?
Ooh, you know, I think it really truly started with the conflict. I have a best friend, the friend I mentioned I grew up with, who was, a farmer's daughter, and she's really beautiful and so smart. She's a math person, just brilliant. Her daughters are all brilliant with math. And I have asked her, "Are you never going to date again?" And she's like, "No." And I'm like, "Ever?" And she's like, "No, I'm done." And this was even 5 or 7 years ago. And I just thought she was she was just turning 50, and for me, because 'cause I've known her since we were 15, the idea of her, especially as her girls grow up and leave, like, being alone for the rest of so, I guess, and for book 1, Flirting with, 50, I thought, "What kind of man would she be tempted by?" Because and so I created this super sexy Australian guy who's a scientist and science,
Woo!
but he's like, oh, has his own like TV show, on like one of those Expedition Unknown type shows. So
Yeah.
he's he's like 50-ish, but he's rocking it and hot, and he has that gorgeous accent. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to create a guy for my friend. Well, my friend has never read this book because she's a math girl and doesn't read. But anyway,
Uh-huh.
that's really what started it. I want all my people. I think because I have been married before, but I've been very happily married the second time. And I met him a little later in life, and we had a baby, did the baby part at 45. But it's really been wonderful. And it's keeping me, I think, hopeful and optimistic. And yes, there's hard times, but having someone who's really your friend, I think as you get older is so important. It's not just, sex and romance, but I think having someone who, because our bodies change, our health changes as we keep
Yeah.
aging up. Having someone who really
Yeah.
cares about you is just, I love the friendship aspect. And maybe it's because I'm an Aquarius,
Yeah.
but I love friends. Friends for me, whether they're, your husband or your kids or your friends, that's just everything. That's joy.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. I love it. Well, guys, if you are just joining us, hanging out with Jane Porter, and she is sharing and spilling a little bit tea about the Modern Love series. The first book is Flirting with a 50. Oh my goodness. And right now, guys, Flirting with the Beast. And coming up, guys, is Flirting with a Fire. And guys, I have this amazing bookmark. So I'm looking at the cover of Flirting with Fire. And Jane, I just want to tell you, they knocked it out the park with all three of these book covers. Just amazing, amazing.
Well, you know what's
And
kind of
guys,
exciting?
Jane is going to share. Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
Oh, go
no,
ahead, Jane.
I was just gonna say I shouldn't share it, but I do know my publisher is wanting some more from me in this kind of vein. So right now my agent's
Oh,
talking, but I'm really excited because I was worried that these three were it. And they're like, let's have some more books. So I get to write some more seasoned heroines, which makes
yay!
me really happy. Yes.
Well, thank you for spilling a little bit of tea and as well. And trust me, we welcome the seasoned characters as well. And guys, Jane is going to get ready to share just a snippet, guys, of Flirting with the Beast. I'll let her set it up for what she's going to read, and while she's doing that, of course, if you have a question, put it in the comment section as well. And you still have time to like, tag, and share, and tell everybody to come on down to the cafe and share a little bit with Jane Porter on today. Okay, Jane, I'm turning it over to you.
This is moving into like a late chapter 1, but we're going to go to Wolf's point of view, and he's been working in his cabin when he hears some noise outside. So his dog has started his big shepherd's run ahead. Wolf heard a shriek and, quickening his pace, reached a clearing where Jax was staring down Andy McDermott. He snapped his fingers and Jax sat, his German shepherd's intent gold gaze locked on the neighbor's face. He didn't blame his dog. Andy McDermott had a very pretty face. Her head jerked up, long dark curls falling over her shoulders, wide brown eyes meeting his. So, Axel is still terrorizing the neighborhood, she said, heat blazing in her eyes. Wolf's dog Axel had been the source of complaints which led to the lawsuit between them. Axel died, Wolf said bluntly. This is Jax. He's just 18 months, still a pup. She glanced down at the black and gold dog and then up at him, expression incredulous. A pup. He is a big shepherd, Wolf agreed. He snapped his fingers again, and Jax retreated, coming to stand at Wolf's side. And so I'll just leave it at that, because I could go on, but I love a man with a dog. I love a heroine with a dog. And so, and also part of the dog symbolized Wolf's training. You know, others were kind of scared of this big dog, but he, you know, his dogs were exceptional. So he took great offense when, you know, her dead husband said that his dogs were a menace, because his dogs wouldn't do anything they weren't trained to do. So I don't know. That probably makes me smile more than anyone else.
Right. Nice. And thank you for sharing that snippet with us. Now, Wolf's character, and you think about Andy's character. Let's start with Andy. If you had to describe her in 3 words or more, if you need more, how would you describe her for us?
Kind. She flies like under the radar. She's not very attention demanding. And I think she's on the back burner. I think everyone in her world is probably more important than she is. And Wolf's nothing like that.
Yeah.
But I would say she's a kind people person, but she
look, yeah, give us a little taste of Wolf. What would you say about him?
Oh, sexy. I would say Wolf is tough. He's a loner, and he's pretty battle hardened, pretty scarred from. He's lost a son who is a Marine and in Marsoc, and he lost. So he feels guilty that his son followed him into his career and paid the price. So he carries around a lot of guilt.
Yeah. And Jennifer said that she's intrigued, and Letitia said,
"Oh, there's Letitia! I love Letitia."
Yes, and then Veronica said, "Thank you for sharing the snippet." Cheryl said she's a dog lover and loved them in stories as well. Cheryl also said that she's always excited to discover new authors, and she can't wait to check out the book as well. Now, this is a great question from Veronica. She said, "What do you want or you hope for readers to take away from this book?"
I really think that we're never too old to love. Really, I mean, I don't mean that in a shallow way, that I think we get scared a little bit as we get older, or we feel like maybe we're not the person we were when we were younger, because we are starting to age in different ways. But I think that aging is a beautiful thing. And I think it's society has gotten in our heads that somehow we are less than because we might be 50 or 60 or older. And so I just want, I want people to like read it thinking, whether it's them or someone they love, like we can always be beautiful, and we are beautiful in the eyes of our hopefully. If not, they should go.
Yes. I love that. Well, Jane, we have to play a round of this or that, but I promise you, my friend, there is no right or wrong answer, because it is all things according to Jane Porter. Are you ready, my friend? All right. First one, beach or mountains?
Mountains. Love mountains.
If we're going on a trip, are we relaxing and being comfy, or are we hiking and doing wild adventures?
Oh no. We're in a lot of cafes, tea, coffee, croissants, sitting, lounging, napping. No.
Napping? I'm here for the nap. I am here for the naps, Jane.
Friends said, "What do you mean you nap every day on a vacation?" I'm like, absolutely. You have a big lunch and then you need a nap.
CJ, we're here. It's all about the naps. Okay.
Right.
For me, especially even, like at home, there is nothing like a Sunday afternoon nap. Okay.
Yes, I love it.
Okay, Jane, we're going to talk about tropes a little bit. Okay. Fairy tale retelling or fake dating?
Oh, say that one again. My brain got excited. Can you repeat that question?
Fairy tale retelling or fake dating?
Fairy tale retelling all the way. That's the Harlequin
And it can be
presents
both.
girl. Yeah, you know what? I can do fake dating, but
Okay.
I'm all about those wolves, the wolves, the beasts, the tough alphas,
Okay. Friends to lovers or enemies to lovers?
Enemies to lovers is more fun to write because you get more sparks up
Okay.
front. Friends to lovers, no one be offended, but he's a little too beta for me in that case.
And oh my goodness.
I need that man take his shirt off and you go, oh, well.
Okay. Okay. All right, Jane. Big city or small?
I probably prefer small town, even in my foreign stories. I really love being out by an orchard or like in Tuscany or somewhere. I just love land. I think there's something so beautiful about land all around you.
Okay. All right, let's think about life. Are you more half full or glass half empty?
Oh, I'm full to the top. We're going all the way to the top. I don't know why. I changed fundamentally. Okay. At 40, I changed everything and I realized I was the one holding me back in the past. And no one else was holding me back. It was me. And it was up here. Okay. And so now we're just turning on the faucets and we're going.
Look, we're going and it's over. Okay. All right. Last one. And we have to know this one for the cafe. Jane, are you team tea or are you team coffee, my friend?
Tea, coffee. I have both every day.
Okay. Team coffee. I love that. Guys, it has been amazing hanging out with author Jane Porter on today, talking about her latest release of Flirting with the Beast as well. And so, Jane, when you think about the number of years that you have been writing and the 75 plus books that you have written as well, are there any writing quirks or writing must-haves that you have when you are in your writing zone?
I need a cup of
tea. A special pen that they have to use or a coffee mug or say what now?
I need a cup of like peach tea or mint tea. I really need that at my side and I need to sip it, touch it, hold it. I think it's really comforting. And I think the smell sometimes is like puts me in the writing zone too.
Oh, nice as well. Guys, of course, you know that it is an amazing giveaway. And let me just tell you, I was able to see a picture of this amazing giveaway. I'm going to allow Jane to share with you what the giveaway is going to be on this evening. Let me just tell you, you are going to be very pleased because it is very nice. Jane, can you share with us what your amazing giveaway is on tonight?
Well, we're going to give away 3 books instead of just the 2, about a signed copy of Flirting with 40, Flirting with 50, and Flirting with the Beast, a $10 Starbucks card. There's a little Jane Porter tote and other things. So just lots of fun swag.
So guys, you get a book box or book swag of goodies, and it's going to actually be 3 books. There is a lovely tote that's in there for those if you love coffee or what have you. There is a Starbucks gift card in there. Let me just tell you, it is nice. Okay, so Jane, the way that we do it here, look, it's all on you. I'm going to be going up in the comment section, my friend, and you get to tell me when to stop. And then the person that I land on, I will click on their name and they will be the person
don't
who
do
get
that.
it. Okay,
Don't
are
do
you
that to
ready?
me. No, don't do that. You should just pick a number.
Look, Jane, I was just getting ready to say, I don't want that responsibility, but let me just tell you, whoever gets this giveaway, you are going to be in just awe because it's nice. Okay. All right, Jane, let's see.
How many comments are there? Let's just pick a number.
Let's see. Okay, give me a number so I can. Let's see. Well, you can still pick a number, and then I'll count down to that number. Will that work better?
Yes.
Okay, so let's just say pick a number. 1 through. I'll just say 1 through 50.
1 through 50. Okay. When do I tell you?
Now, and then I'll count down.
Let's go with 14 for Valentine's Day.
Okay, nice. Okay, now Jane, while I'm counting down and I am finding the number, can you share with them how they can get their hands on a copy of Flirting with the Bees or Flirting with 50, all of your books? Let them know how they can get a copy of your books.
All right. Well, you can find them in Barnes and Noble. I don't know if they're in Walmart anymore. They can get them, order it from Amazon. It's supposed to be where every place a mass market would be sold. So I'm lazy. I buy a lot, like on my Kindle app, just because I read on my phone. But you can get it pretty much anywhere.
Okay, I love that. And guys, you've heard it. You can get it where books are sold. Definitely go out and get your copy of Flirting with the Beast, Flirting with 50. And we'll also be sharing Jane's website as well. You can get any of her back there. And Jane, the 14th comment was, let's see, Myra Cook. She said, I know what you mean. I'm happy being 71.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. Myra Cook, let me just tell you, first of all, can give away. Will inbox me your information. I'll be sure to get that over to Jane Porter as well. So congratulations on this amazing giveaway. And so, Jane, in addition to that, can you tell us how can we stay connected with you, my friend?
Oh, I wish you would, because that's my favorite part about being in the book community. I love talking to readers. As a reader, I mean, I'm a massive reader, but I'm janeporter.com is website. Email is jane@janeporter.com. Facebook, I think it's Jane Porter or author Jane Porter. Instagram, I think is author Jane Porter. And I don't really do Twitter. It's too annoying, but I probably am author Jane Porter there. But I like people email me or message me. I always answer. So please feel free to just talk to me.
I love that. I love it. Now, on your website, is there a newsletter that they can sign up for as well?
Oh, you're so good. You remember all these things. Yes, I do have a newsletter. I'm going to send I send about one a month. To be honest, I don't send too many, and it's going to go out early next week. But yes, there's a little place I think on my homepage that'll show you where to join. And I would love that, because one of the things I'm doing.
I love that. And guys,
no, and I was just going to say, I've been going out and I'm doing reader small teams. So I'm going to be in Ohio in May. If anyone wants to join me for tea, we're doing tea at the Tea Lady Inc. Or the LLC. But anyway, I'll be in Akron.
Oh, wow. Okay. And Jane, I love tea time. Okay. Oh my goodness. Yes. It is information website where you're going to be.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. And Myra, they are giving you love. Again, congratulations, Myra, for being the winner of this amazing giveaway as well. Guys, that is our show. Oh my goodness, Jane, I had an amazing time. The time goes by so fast, my friend. Guys, definitely go out and get Flirting with the Beast, an amazing read. Again, the first book in this series, be Flirting with Fire. It's the third book that's in this series as well. If you're not already following Jane Porter, make sure that you are following her. And of course, once you finish reading her book, any of her books, and of course, Flirting with 50, be sure to let she will be so appreciative of that as well. And Jane, my friend, I want to allow you to have the last words of what you want to say to the people tonight.
Oh, just thank you. I have been a book girl since I was a little girl. Books and readers are more real to me than anything. So thank you so much for having me, and thank you for giving me a chance to meet some new reader friends.
Yay. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. And again, guys, we are just so thankful for you guys being here on today. Thank you guys for the stars. If you are watching via Facebook and you sent stars on this evening, thank you so much. If you would like to send stars, feel free, guys, to look at the bottom of the screen in the comment section. There is a little shooting star. Click on that and send as many stars as you like. I'm always appreciative of that. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, definitely do that. Angela Anderson YouTube channel. There are lots of literary cafes, literary teas, things that are bookish. Sometimes there are some things on there like Car Chronicles that may not be bookish, but they're fun as well. So definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. And again, come hang out with us anytime at the cafe to hear from amazing authors like author Jane Porter, hear about amazing books as well. And as I always say, have an amazing day, because we're having an amazing day. And until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.